Why? Okay. It's kind of true. So that's it then. No more Edgewater for me. No more cannery. No more jumpsuits and gloves. Yes, ma'ams, and would you like another's? I don't know why I'm writing this down for posterity's sake, but I've always hated the cannery, and I don't think I'll ever have to look back onto this journal many years hence and tell myself, oh wow, I did hate the veil once, didn't I? Just because I got sick. Everybody gets sick. Well, okay, I got sick and I grabbed a little too much adrenatime. Is that really a crime? I gotta treat myself when I'm sick, don't I? Whatever happened to personal responsibility and surviving by one's own bootstraps? Oh, but you misappropriate the box of adrenatime, and suddenly you're committing larceny. Damn. Okay. Good news. I'm alive. Starting to feel a bit better too. There's a group of deserters living out in the old botanical labs. They found a way to grow some food. Or something that passes for food anyway. Adelaide boiled a pot of something green and leafy and told me to drink it twice a day for my symptoms, I suppose. Tastes atrocious, but I've been feeling better. Nice to be away from the cannery. The labs have just enough power to run an aether wave, and I've been catching up on my serial dramas. Masked Marketeer. What would I do without you? Go crazy, most likely. Crack up, murder all my neighbors, and run screaming into the hills like some wild marauder? I don't know. That doesn't sound too bad. I could see myself leading a cadre of marauders. A band of bandits? Wait, that doesn't sound right. Band of bandits? What would we call ourselves? The Formal Devil 14? The 100 Hooligans? Featuring Zoe, Bandit Queen? This girl's intense. Well, today's the day, Zoe. Today is the day you take your destiny into your own hands. I've been listening to Grace talk about the marauder threat. Bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living in camps out in the hills, warming themselves by the light of barrel fires. Probably mounted the heads of their enemies on spikes as warning to folk like me. Living a life of comfort and ease, free of any rules. I bet they could take the whole region if they were organized. I've been tucking away some of Adelaide's food, and I've got some spare cans of salt tuna. Should last me a couple of weeks if I ration. Got some adrenatime too. Everybody loves adrenatime. Even marauders, right? I got odds those marauders will let me throw in with them if I dangle a couple of syringes of adrenatime before their eyes. This is gonna be great. Look out, Terra 2. Bandit Queen Zoe's origin story has just begun. I'm gonna have a whole gang of marauders at my back and call... At my beck and call. Maybe I can even score some rizzos. Why do I have a feeling if you dangle adrenatime in front of them, they're just gonna kill you and take it? Damn, Zoe sounds like my kind of girl. Yeah, why do I have a feeling Zoe's dead? Don't be like that. Don't be like Zoe. Hello.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Heard that before. Nobody sees me? Go. Wait. No, the sound's still there. Now the sound glitch is back. But maybe we should restart the game soon. Soon. Trademark. I can still feel Zoe, she's alive. You just don't want me to be happy, do you? I want you to be happy, I just don't want you to be dead. Is that too much to ask? Ooh, terminal. Okay, personal files. Password required. Hack. Open first entry. May the Eternal bless my first endeavor. It's been 2 days since I walked away from life at the Edgewater Cannery. Fortuitously, The old botanical labs are still operational, mostly. The soil's sour. I'll do what I can, but I'm going to need some powerful fertilizer. Tired of having the taste of salt tuna lingering on my tongue day in, day out. I want something fresh, something that grows out of the earth. And last entry. We found another worker from Edgewater, ex-worker now. Desertion rates must be climbing. I'm not terribly surprised. Reed's style of management has always been tyrannical. I imagine an exodus is brewing. At any rate, the worker was in a sorry state. Fever, shallow breathing, delirious. Must have been plagued. I set him right with a diet of greens. He was all better in a couple of weeks. Physically. Spiritually, he's one of our flock now. Cool. Experimental notes. Open first entry. I am hereby repurposing this botanical lab from its original conception as a gear in the soulless automaton of the corporate machine. This greenhouse may look impressive, but like all Spacer's Choice products, it is cheap and unreliable. I shall have to make some repairs with my own 2 hands. This place shall become a nursery. Before it was abandoned, I understand the horticulturalists failed to produce a single viable crop. Something about the soil being too poor. I am determined to find a way. May the Eternal smile on my endeavors. Last entry. Flora are living things, as sensitive to their environment as any breathing, thinking body. I contend that the crops in this region failed because the corporate scientists sending to them are cold, heartless, inhumane people acting on behalf of a sterile and inhuman power. One cannot expect your crops to flush with green and reach for the sky under these conditions. The soil is sour, that it's true. I don't know quite how to explain that. I'm sure the scienticians will say something about biology or the carbon cycle. But I can conclude after months of my own experimentation that the secret to a rich and wholesome garden is love, attention, compassion, and a natural fertilizer bursting with organic materials, just as nature intended. Ooh, there we go. Well, good for them, they got some stuff going.
Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
You're looking at me, girl? Thank you. I don't know what she's looking at.
Where are we headed?
You know I'm reckless, your job to keep me alive. Yeah, I'm trying my darn hardest here. Not always easy, not always easy. Oh god. That's Adelaide. Hey, so what do you got?
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
You must be Adelaide.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Tobaccorn tea? This is your greenhouse.
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
I'm surprised you managed to grow anything out here.
The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer.
Looks like you made a home for yourself out here.
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Why did you leave your old home?
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject.
Reed sent me to make peace with you.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Reed asks you to consider coming back to town. He's willing to make amends.
Make amends? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Reed asked me to divert your power over to him. He mentioned a geothermal plant.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Well, I haven't yet. Your camp has a power regulator. I needed to repair my ship.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero
Yeah,
would
but what would happen with all the people that live here? Well, live there? That would not be that good for them now, would it? What have you got against the town?
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps.
She's older than
Hollowed-out
40 for
workers
sure.
Laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
What do you have against people trying to make a living?
It's not much of a living. Every single
She's so
person in
16.
that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery.
Let's say I help you. What happens to Edgewater?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
You think Reed's just trying to spite you?
You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
I'll consider it.
I trust you will listen to your conscience. Anything else I can do for you?
This might sound strange, but I don't know where I am.
That's not strange at all, dear. Few of us truly know where we are. The world can seem like a forest without end, and it is all too easy to lose one's way. But we must remember that being lost is the first step in discovering yourself.
No, I mean, I actually don't know where I am.
This is the old botanical lab in Emerald Vale. On Terra 2? By the look on your face, I'm guessing you're not quite following me. Are you not feeling well? Ought to lay your head down if you're running fever.
I was kidnapped by a crazy scientist and shot into space, but thanks for asking.
That sounds like fever talk, all right. So why am I tempted to believe you? Where did you say you were from?
I didn't say. I arrived here from Earth.
I could do without the mockery. If you don't want to tell me where you're from, that's fine by me.
You don't understand. I'm from the Hope.
Is that a new settlement of some kind? I haven't kept news from outside the Veil.
No. Not exactly. It's a colony ship.
Oh, you're talking about that old piece of folklore. Now I'm convinced you're delirious. You really ought to lay your head down, dear. Babbling only agitates the humors. You ought to try some of my purgative tea. Won't cure what ails you, but it will distract you for a spell.
You don't believe me?
Maybe I do. I don't know yet. Growing up, I heard my folks talking about the Hope. Always believed it was just a story we told ourselves to keep our spirits up. Listen, don't you worry about what I think. That's not important. Worry about what the board thinks of you going around talking about lost ships from decades past.
I'm not afraid of the board.
No, but the board may have reason to fear you.
Why? Why? I haven't done anything wrong.
You carry on about coming here from another world, and people will talk. Talk leads to questions. Ask enough questions, and the board comes answering.
Let's just talk about something else.
I'm listening.
When we first talked, you assumed I'd come to live here.
I am getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I might have seen you for what you are.
I don't imagine you get a lot of visitors.
My dear, we are all visitors in a momentary universe. Our lives flicker in and out like the guttering of a flame. Here now, then gone. Me and mine are just carrying on as best we can, trying to live our lives in a way that does not feel wasted.
Why are you telling me all this?
A little prattling never hurt anyone, dear. You might even catch a little sense, if you listen close enough.
Rude.
I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life.
You could... you could always continue your way of life back in town.
Not under Reed's watch. He and I would come to blows within a day, and he would never tolerate my tending to a garden. This is my home. It will be my home even if Reed cuts our power. Simple as that.
Reed's making an offer in good faith. You should consider it.
If you think Reed does anything in good faith, then you are asking to be lied to.
You and Reed obviously have some sort of history.
That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. Remember that limited run of white chocolate saltuna?
No.
That was all me.
There's obviously more to it than that.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
That's sad. I'm guessing Reed has his own side of the story.
I could not possibly care less if he does. but you're surely welcome to ask him.
Okay. Damn. That got dark. Okay, so what do we got here? Let's wander around the town, see what we can loot and who we can talk to.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Oh. Okay then, that sounds like a... Oh, this one?
If
No.
you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Is that Thomas? No. Who's Thomas? I want to talk to your stalker. Ooh, apples. Lots of apples. More apples.
What do you think you're doing?
I'll pay you. Look the other way.
Nice doing business with you.
Hmm.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
How about you let me out of here? Oh, that's Thomas. Gonna talk to him in a bit. Workbench discovered. Two. So, how's your stalker?
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi, hello.
Not awkward.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no. I'm just along with this lady here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, what I meant was you're reasonably well armed and don't look stricken with plague.
Fair enough.
Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
What? Engineering 10. Never too late to start learning. I could give you a couple of pointers.
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself.
Oh, good for you.
You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3.
I got
If I had
2.
my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged.
Oh yeah, the question is, where's the third one? I expect a fair price for my trouble.
I'll pay you for every pad you bring me. If, by some miracle, you can bring me the full set, I'll give you something pretty I've been saving for a
Ooh,
lucky day.
I like that. I like the sound of that. You mentioned 2 pads. What about the third?
Would you? I'd be grateful.
Wait. What? I guess I
What's
pressed
on
the
your
wrong
mind?
one. You say you pretended to be an engineer. How have you been getting away with it?
Luck, mostly. Nothing's needed serious repairing yet. Nothing's
Yet.
broken down that we can't just replace with something scavenged from the outskirts. Oh, I can swap out a water filter or charge up a battery and go on pretending I know what I'm doing, but the moment I'm asked to do any real engineering, I'm in trouble.
How long have you lived here?
Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious.
What were you doing in the wilderness?
We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go. mostly on account of my
Oh
incompetence.
dear.
I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
Today's your lucky day. I've got one of those data pads.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
Part 1.
Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer.
What?
I'm just glad it survived all these
What?
years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. One data pad's enough to guide me down my newfound path. Just remember, I got something saved for you if you find me all 3.
Hold on, I got one more.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
Part 2.
Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment.
I'll let you know if I find any others.
Sure, I'd be glad to take them off your hands.
What do we got here? Oh, that's the... Yeah, that's the power regulator. Actually, let's save. Be still my heating. Be still my beating heart. Oh, it's adorable. Hey, wake it. Hey, welcome back, Phoenixer. Welcome back. How was your sauna? Hope you had a good time. Man, saunas are nice. Nobody here? I take this. I clean, I clean.
Not a peep for me.
Nothing much here. Oh, that. It's good. So what do we got here? A row. Hi. Oh. Girl, at least when you come in after me, can you just close the door? No manners on this girl. I don't know what Spicy was talking about. This girl has no manners. There we go. Who are you?
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Oh, I will. Hello. Wait, are you gonna be angry if I unlock this?
Wow, you got that?
No. Oh. There we go. Okay, so what do we got? Find Zoe. Find 3 volumes. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're gonna have to find that somewhere. Shoot their head off so they don't have a face anymore. That's also an option. That is an option. Okay, let's go find Zoe. Okay, she could be there. Cool. What's up?
What is it?
Rude. Are they back up? No, they're still dead. Good. Saves me the embarrassment of fighting them again. Okay, so right, I looted this.
I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
Right. I stopped looting in this room because I was... oh right, I was encumbered. Oh, hello.
That had to hurt.
Wait.
Nice hit!
I saw Zoe in the subtitles. What the hell, Zoe? What are you doing, girl? There you are. Chilling like a villain.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways.
You're Zoe? Your people are looking for you.
What, you mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills,
Okay.
I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen.
I need you to clarify something for me.
I'm great at clarifying.
Are you? Are you a prisoner here?
No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit.
Okay. I'm impressed. How did you pull it off?
I may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but yeah, I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it.
How are you even alive?
I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma.
Definitely. Why did you leave camp?
I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them.
Hey, Sheptai. Hello, hello. How are you? Nice to see you. There was something else, actually.
I've got all the time in Halcyon.
I've been sent to find you.
Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
You should go back. People are worried.
I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me.
What about Stefan? You two are friends.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Also, he could carry on a conversation, unlike these hooligans.
I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Okay, take care. Shepta says I'm square shy. Nice. Good for you, Shepta. Good for you. Okay, so what do we got here?
Great work.
Nice XP. Nice XP. I like it. Got some noodles. All the important stuff. What do we got here? Ooh. Simple bridal bracelet. Good for it. Okay. Oh god, now I... Sorry. Well, I was trapped anyway, so... Wait, so this is... Yeah, this is where Zoe was. I went in there. So... Anything here? No. Okay. Is it here? Oh! Damn mines. Okay. So I wasn't there. Wait, that's it? What? Almost, almost. Phoenix says almost bedtime? What? Already? Sleep is for the weak. Soon trademark. Careful, there's a mine. Where? I didn't see. Okay, so I think I went in every house here. So return to Grace. Codex entries. Pi says, I'm helping! Yeah, you are. Death counter. I don't know how to set it up. I have a death counter, but... Wait, let me see for 1 second. First. Counter.